Bowlers, please hold up. Practice is over. As a reminder, flash photography is not permitted during tournament competition. Brunswick, we are ready to begin.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2015 USBC Open Championships. This is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith, and we are live here at the El Paso Convention Center behind lanes 35 and 36 to watch the 2014 Team All Events Champions try to make it 2 in a row here at the Open Championships. It hasn't happened in decades now, but these guys are very focused and very talented and very ready to see if they can climb back to the top of the standings in Team All Events. They took home the title last year with a 10,363 total, the 4th highest in tournament history. And the 2 lane conditions this year, a little bit more challenging, scores a lot lower. But somebody has to win, and these guys would love for it to be them. And we'll have the lineup and more here in just a moment as we get underway. That was your first shot by Joe Janz on lane 35, and a strike by Tim Damerow on lane 36. So these guys, again, are always around the top of the leaderboard. Very talented group from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, and here they are for the first time with the Orange Eagles on the scoreboard next to their names. They will be here for all 6 games of doubles and singles on this challenging lane condition. We'll have all the details for you in just a minute. Aaron Smith with the rosters and some background info as well as team scores from last night. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining us here at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. Aaron Smith, what's going on today?
Good afternoon, Matt Canizaro and everybody tuning in on Bowl TV. We're off to the races a little bit early today, already bowling for score, so it's we're a little bit ahead of pace, so can't be mad about that, but here we are. A familiar spot, doubles and singles, and we got the cameras on Jan's Home Improvement out of Beaver Dam. Great shot by Andy Bunkoske there. We'll give you a quick rundown of how these guys did in team event yesterday. Obviously, little excitement. They got to see the Eagles up there, as you mentioned, for the first time by their names, and got to experience the whole march out as defending champions. So, talking to them briefly after, they said it's definitely tough out there, and they let a few frames get away, but we saw them put on a show in doubles and singles last year. So I wouldn't be surprised if they put on another performance here on Bowl TV. Yesterday, though, they finished up at 29-30, which is just outside of the top 10. Still on top, ND Storm out of Mandan, North Dakota, 31-49. Still only 3 teams plus so far this year. Tim Damerow, who finished 2nd in all events last year with a 2,228, led the way with a 647. He's followed by Joe Janz, 611. Andy Bunkoske, 586. Randy Hup, 564. And Tim Janz, 522. So that's what they put up yesterday on the 38-foot team pattern. This is their opening frames on the 39-foot doubles and singles. I know they spent a little time around the Bowlers Journal already preparing for their title defense, so we'll see if that practice went to good use here, if they can execute some shots and put up some strikes.
Aaron, we've seen these names many times in recent years. The Janz HI guys, they bowl early, and of course they're a very talented group from a very bowling-rich area, and they come out and they make some noise every year, and have kind of settled down into the standings a little bit. But last year they certainly weren't going to let that happen, and they came out with a huge team set. Shot 34.99 with a 300 from Tim Damerow, and he went on to take the actual all events lead as well. But we got them on for some bonus live stream coverage for doubles and singles last year, and they didn't disappoint. They absolutely destroyed the doubles and singles lane condition to get to a near record number. And it's something they've seen before where they've taken the lead and it's lasted just hours at times, whether it's the next squad or the next day. And it wasn't long before that 34.99 fell in the standings quite a bit. But they're 10,363 untouched. And I know I talked to a few of them along the way, the occasional message. And we see that every year, and it's a pretty cool part of what we do. They're obviously not here. They're at home watching the leaderboards and sweating it out a little bit, seeing what's going on. And just cool to be able to finally tell them, after all those months of waiting, that the wait is over. Congratulations.
Although, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, when we were on that final day of the tournament, we were making those phone calls. We had to leave a message with these guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes, amazingly, even though they know the tournament's coming to an end, some folks just want to be distracted with other things and off doing something else, so they don't have to think about it. And they were a little hard to get a hold of, but it was party time once we finally talked to them, and rightfully so. Team All Events, of course, the most coveted, or arguably the most coveted title here at the Open Championships. No prize money involved, which makes it even more special to know that you're the best of the best over essentially 45 games, and everything had to come together, especially now, the true test of versatility on 2 different lane conditions. So to be able to handle that and in such a manner last year, such composure, pretty awesome. So these guys, they came in yesterday, celebrated with a nice ceremony, and were recognized for the first time. Saw their banner hanging up for the first time. And we've talked to Team All Events winners in recent years, and already one of the toughest titles to defend. But the fact that you're coming off the excitement of the ceremony and being recognized for the first time, and then you have to get right to business. It's not like being the singles champ where you have a few games to get comfortable and get everything focused. This is it. Team All Events, of course, the marathon. It includes 3 games of team event and then all games of doubles and singles for all 5 players.
Is there a specific channel or anything? Do you know what it is? What is it? Yeah. Because my aunt walked. Oh, okay.
That 34.99 team event last year was good enough to stay in the top 10. They actually finished 10th overall in the team event. But as you mentioned, Matt, that team lead didn't lasted about 24 hours. Motion plus lanes out of Cudahy, Wisconsin. You say Wisconsin a lot on these Bowl TV broadcasts, but they fell. But they ended up putting up the then highest score in tournament history, 35-61. Of course, that ended up falling a few months later to the 37-20 by Artistic Expressions 1, who will be here in just a week or two. But after some close calls and Team All Events, few folks making a run at it. The number proved untouchable in the end. We mentioned Damerow left with the all events lead as well, 22-28. We'll actually see the one gentleman who surpassed his number hit the lanes later tonight. Anthony Lacaze out of Melrose Park, Illinois, will begin his 2-day challenge of defending his all events title. And we'll have his doubles and singles same time, same place tomorrow.
Well, you're talking about Damerow, and you missed your opportunity as he tickled the 2 on lane 35 there, rolled it forward for the strike there in the 4th frame. But this is the start of Champions Month here at the USBC Open Championships. Again, Janz's home improvement on the lanes right now, trying to make it 2 team all events titles in a row. Anthony Lacaze, the all events winner, coming out next. We'll have his ceremony, and then we'll be live streaming his doubles and singles tomorrow as he caps off his 2015 all events efforts.
Trying to make it 3 years in a row with an eagle after being a part of the 2013 team all events champion. Junior team USA support number 1. There's only been one bowler in tournament history to win a title in 3 consecutive tournaments, and that gentleman was here just a few days ago, Les Sykes. Won titles in 1962, 1963, and 1964. So Lacaze looking to add his name to that very exclusive group. Just a few hours. Also bowling with these guys, Joe Janz, who was on the companion team yesterday. He shot .550. He gave us some excitement last year as well. Amongst these guys putting up a number. Actually had the front 9 one game in singles. I want to say he put up a pretty nice number when it was all said and done. Didn't get the 300. But finished with a 730 overall.
Not a huge number by recent standards. These guys are chasing 93-93 for Indy Storm. But again, as you mentioned, only 3 teams plus in the team event this year. So nobody really getting that momentum going heading into doubles and singles. Those guys also leading the team event at 31:49. So that head start certainly helped the next day.
Yeah, these guys will have to go about 400 over. Some change to make a run here, but shots like that will certainly help.
Well, they've certainly done everything they can inside the venue this week to put themselves in position for some success. When I did run into them the other night, they were doing their team practice session over at the showcase lanes. Clearly a good investment as they were able to find their way into the top 20. The decent team event last night. And I'm sure they spent some time at the Bowlers Journal Championships as well, getting a look at this doubles and singles lane condition. You can only learn so much from reading a graph or practicing at home. But the exact same condition, the same oil, same lane machine, same everything put out on the showcase lanes for the BJ inside the same building. So you can't get any closer to the exact environment you're going to be bowling on. So why not take advantage and get an idea before coming out to the main stage, as they say.
It's already been an exciting week here at the Open Championships just a few days ago. One of the coolest moments we probably had the chance to be a part of, getting to watch Bill Lillard Sr. surpass the legendary Joe Norris for the career pinfall record, surpassing the 123,770 posted by Norris over 71 tournaments. Lillard got there with a strike in the 8th frame of his first game of singles to move ahead, finished the tournament with a new career total of 124,087, I believe is the number.
Well, it's only a few weeks into this 2015 event, and we certainly haven't had any shortage of exciting moments, despite there not being too many high scores. So it's always a good balance. Last year and the last couple of years in Reno, we certainly spent some time writing about big numbers, record scores, a lot of 300 games, 800 series. But this year, so far, a little bit different. We're celebrating longevity here so far at this year's event, and such an impact those gentlemen have had on our event and its history. And just, we talk a lot about our video of Still Theo when he reached 70 years. He essentially was speechless at center aisle, almost incoherently emotional, and that just made it that much better. Just to see how much it means to him to be here. He's never won at this event, but 70 years is his legacy, and he's looking forward to 71 already. But moments like that, to be a part of that, pretty special. And we had a lot of folks in for that, and for Bill Lillard when he broke the pinfall record, and a lot of tears, a lot of emotion inside this venue. And of course for Bill to do that with a strike, I will expect nothing less. But those are the moments we're going to write about someday when we publish our memoirs of our time here at the Open Championships, along with the big scores and all the great people we've met along the way. But a very good balance this year, and I know we'll see some good scores and some great teams come in, and of course somebody has to win, but you mix in all of the extras, and that is truly what the Open Championships is all about.
We had a nice 6-minute video that you can find on our YouTube page, youtube.com/BoltTV, after you're done watching us, of course. Be sure to check out all the videos there, but quick shout out to Jason Thomas for helping us with that. And Jason Thomas actually bowling this squad as well. He's actually one pair away. He's on 37-8 with Jeff Goodger of the PBA, Keith Hamilton of Bowlers Journal, and Ed Bauer, a past champion here at the Open Championships. So one pair to the excitement of on 35-6. Please do let folks know you're watching on social media, that you're tuned in to Bowl TV. And if you'd like to follow the USBC on social media, please do. The Sport of Bowling is on Facebook, facebook.com/USBC. On Twitter, @USBC. Of course, the one-stop shop for it all, bowl.com. Great shot there by Damerow. Of course, you're watching us right now, youtube.com/BowlTV. So we appreciate everyone spending some time here on their Friday afternoon. It seems like we were at this last Friday, so it's okay to slack off the last few hours at work and sit back and enjoy some top-notch bowling here.
Well, and for many folks out there, a holiday weekend, so things a little laid back and relaxed. Certainly, that is the feel here. A lot of people into town a little bit early, checking out the lanes, checking out the sights. Beautiful weather here in El Paso this week. Just ran into Vermilia and some of his guys going to walk around downtown a little bit and find some authentic Southwest cuisine. They'll bowl at 5 o'clock tonight, but certainly why not take advantage of a terrific day outside before you have to spend a few hours inside. And that seems to be the report coming back from many of the bowlers coming to town, that certainly plenty to see and do and eat outside the venue as well as inside. So one of our favorite builds so far, I think I can accurately say that, Mr. Smith, and great food and drink options inside the venue as well as nearby.
Yeah, definitely you might have to do a little bit of exploring, but if you're looking for stuff to do around here, there is plenty available. But you definitely got to feel free to do some research before you come out here. Visit elpaso.com, a great resource for that. They actually have a mobile app, I believe. You heard about recently that kind of gives you things to do if you got a few hours, a half day, or a full day. Some ideas to check out. So the good folks at El Paso help put together this great venue here, and be sure to check out their website and let the town of El Paso know you're here.
Well, nice little crowd in the chat room, growing. Glad to see everybody sharing part of your afternoon with us. Again, this is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith, and we're live behind lanes 35 and 36 here at the El Paso Convention Center. Janz's home improvement, trying to make it 2 Team All Events titles in a row. And by my calculations, at least, that hasn't happened since 1998.
Those guys are pretty good.
The Lodge Lanes crew, led by Bob Gorky and John Gaines, almost made it 3 in a row. Finished second in 1999. Which, of course, with many thousands of bowlers and thousands of teams each year, some will say catching lightning in a bottle. Some will say once in a lifetime opportunity. Others will say just the first of many. But certainly a lot of hard work involved in getting back to the top of the standings.
These guys do that year in and year out. Obviously, we've mentioned it a lot over the past few years, especially up in Wisconsin. These guys take the team bowling very seriously. It's not just here at the Nationals, but these teams stay together for local competitions, state competitions. So they practice together, they bowl league together, tournaments. So the time and effort is definitely there. It's just a matter of execution once you get out here to the main event. Shot there by Joe Janz to mix him up.
Well, we're talking a lot about team all events, of course. But right now, game one of doubles. Pretty nice number on top of the standings in doubles. Jeremy Sonnenfeld led the way, 1372. Jeremy and Tom Woodworth from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, came in. It's been a few weeks. That was very early on, and a solid number. Couple teams have come a little bit close, but those guys still holding on. And of course, we've seen a little bit of a drop in the doubles potential in recent years. Big change back in 2013, going to fresh oil for every single squad here at the Open Championships, as well as the second lane condition. This year, a bit of a challenge also. A good balance though, and of course our test of versatility. But 1,300, a number to be very proud of here in 2015.
1,300's only been done twice, I believe, so far. 1,372 up on top, 1,357 from Phil Karwoski Jr. and Sr., Lake Worth, Florida.
Yeah, Junior made a run at the first 800 of the year. Started 270, 250, and came up a little bit short. Finished with 762 to help those guys into the top 5.
And then while we were anticipating Bill Lillard's run to the career pinfall record, shout out to a few of our buddies, Paul and Peter McCordick. Made a run at doubles, a pair to the right. All those guys been bowling together for a long time. They finished up 1291, so those guys still showing they can compete with the kids.
Those guys, big names on the Super Senior circuit now. We saw them Super Senior Classic in Arlington bowl well the last couple of years. So still a force after all these years. Their performance is a little bit overshadowed, however, by the excitement surrounding Bill Lillard. And I believe, aside from being our pinfall leader, Mr. Lillard is the definition of manning up, as he adapted his bowling style after a recent knee surgery that the healing process hasn't been as good as he hoped. And he had a one-step approach for 9 games here on his way to the pinfall record. Aaron, a lot of strikes up on the scoreboard here in game number 1, but I think the tale will be told this year with the slashes, with the challenging conditions. Spares, very important at this year's event. So most guys may not string strikes, but you got to fill those other frames with some spares. Can't give pins away.
That was one of the big things in ND Storm's run at their team lead right now. Last game, obviously they struck a lot to shoot 12-23, but not an open on the board. Tim Janz struggled a little bit yesterday in team 522. He's making up for that. Kick off doubles here. So those 240s out there. We're in the presence of greatness, Matt. Chris Hester has joined the chat room.
Always one of my favorite left-handers. And I don't think I get to watch him bowl this year, because he'll be possibly on the lanes at the same time. But he did just offer to come assist in El Paso, which is fine, because Aaron Smith is going on sabbatical.
It's true.
He's going to go kick back at the women's championships for a little bit, swing by the intercollegiate team and singles championships for a couple days. Somewhere in between, going to bowl 9 games here at the Open Championships.
Be a busy few weeks for me, so Chris, come on out.
Come on out. Chris had a solid burger the other night. And first one's on me, so I'll have Aaron clean off his desk after tomorrow's live stream, if that works. I'll give you some time to pack and get here.
Nice 4:44 start for Bunkoske and Tim Janz. Tim leading the way 2:41. Jim Janz looking pretty good right here. 3 in a row. Jim has found a look. 220s out there. Randy can still get into the 180s. 125 finish for Jim, and with the spare, Randy's at 169. It's 965 in the opener for Janz HI. They'll have to put on their striking shoes these last few games here if they want to make a run here.
Yeah, plus 400 is no joke on any condition. And only 5 games left to get there. But right around that even number is a solid start on this fresh lane condition.
Obviously, the hope is that they start off, obviously beyond fresh, it's going to be a little tough. Hopefully they made all the right moves and game planning to open it up for they can put on a striking show like they did last year. Once again, the team scores last year a little bit higher. But doubles and singles was the real tricky shot, if you will. Nobody did it better than these guys. Nice shot by Andy to kick off game 2. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, he said, talking to him before they went out yesterday, so hopefully he's feeling a little bit better.
A little bit of a miscue there from Hup on the right lane to start game 2. Hard to tell what he's throwing from here. It looks like it could be urethane and trying to play a little bit straighter, farther outside. They say there's plenty of hook this year. So some players opting for a little bit weaker bowling balls. But no matter what you're throwing, that gray board to the outside does not hook. Again, 1372, the number, the top of the double standings. Not a bad start here for Tim Janz and Bunkoske. So the online crowd continues to grow. Word must be spreading. Put it out there on social media. The Sporter Bowling USBC, the official page for USBC on Facebook, and then the USBC Open Women's Championships Facebook page is dedicated just to those two events. A lot of great information, news and notes. Great place to discuss the championship experience here in 2015. Get some ideas and help you make your plans for your time on the lanes this year. And then, of course, you can find us personally, the sport of, oh, I'm sorry, Matt Canizaro, USBC, that's me.
That is you, yes.
That's me. Matt Canizaro, USBC on Facebook.
You have a lanyard that says that, by the way, in case you ever forget again.
Some days I love being me. Other days, well, you know how it goes. Otherwise, you can find us on Twitter at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron, and find out what we're doing with our time here in El Paso behind the scenes. And all the news that's not quite news.
Like how I'm up 2-0 in our employee league?
Yes, just
news
like
that.
Yes.
Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Good crowd in the chat room. More than 450 plus. Gentleman who's done, or has already put on a show here. Held on to the all events lead for a while. Chris Pounder's joining us. Seeing some of his fellow Wisconsin bowlers here on the lanes. Hi to Kevin Michalowski and Charlie Jones as well. Northwest Indiana guys. Matt, I'm going to take a minute or two here to kind of wrap up what these guys did last year in Reno. Just when you kind of look at the numbers, it's pretty amazing to think, obviously, a score that big. But just the overall performance by those guys. Damerow, his worst event was 80th place overall out of the thousands and thousands of bowlers who came to attend. He obviously team all events champions, second in all events, 10th in team. Him and Joe Janz finished 22nd in doubles, and his single score 746, good for 80th overall. So just amazing performance. 22-28 was the all events total. Joe Janz finishing up at 20-30, career high for him. 20-26 for Tim Janz. 20-75 for Bunkoske, also a career high, and Randy Hup, 2004, also a personal best here at the Open Championship. So just a unbelievable performance overall, and something that was just exciting, and glad we glad everyone talked us into live streaming their doubles and singles, and we put it out there. The folks responded, and they did not disappoint.
Well, Aaron, 2,000, a very lofty and target score for folks coming to the Open Championships each year. Would be a career year for many, and then to have 5 guys come together like that at one time, working together to put up a number over 10,000. Pretty spectacular. It's pretty awesome to watch, and that can still be found in the archives on Bowl TV. And these gentlemen, maybe not as familiar outside of Wisconsin, but they certainly are a little bit more now here at the Open Championships. Their names hanging over the lanes down on the low side as the 2014 Team All Events winners.
Guys took some photos underneath the banner yesterday, so obviously a cool thing, the championship field, to see your name hanging from the rafters. Speak of the archives, I don't think any broadcast got as many views afterwards, folks. Although we were probably extremely witty, but
so yeah, we hope that folks are tuning in to hear the witty banter. But when somebody bowls that well and takes the lead, people want to tune in and take notes.
Absolutely, and other than bowling at the Bowlers Journal and those. Obviously on site at the bowling stadium last year, and on site here with the showcase lanes this year. But yeah, as far as game planning, a lot of folks knew how tricky that doubles and singles pattern was, and there's no better resource than watching these guys put on a show. Ball change there for Tim Janz. Destroys the rack. 241 in the opener, looking to capture the magic.
for those folks who have seen our setup in Reno, how we get to comfortably relax in one of the VIP booths behind the lanes, this year we are perched high above the lanes here in the top row of the bleachers. We got a great view of the terrific venue, but a little bit harder to see what's going on at the opposite end and on the ball return. We'll certainly doing our best to keep an eye on things throughout this terrific venue. 52 lanes here for the Open Championships. Another 10 just on the other side of a wall for the showcase lanes. That's where the team practice sessions are taking place, as well as the Bowlers Journal Championships. Your chance to see the two different lane conditions here. Your team can get a pair of showcase lanes for 1 hour on the team pattern for $150. Or 5 or less can get one lane for $75. And of course, the Bowlers Journal, which features the doubles and singles pattern, has a variety of options for doubles and singles, different divisions for different ages and skill levels. And you can find all those details on bowl.com. And if you take advantage of the VIP program here in 2015, you get to do a little bit of everything. That program includes in and out locker access, a team practice session, a singles entry into the Bowlers Journal Championships, as well as the nearby 40 frame game, and some other great features. So if you're planning on doing all those things anyway, why not save a few bucks and check out the VIP program. Again, you can find information about all of that and more on the Open Championships page on bowl.com, bowl.com/openchamp. And we're rolling along here. We've passed the halfway point of game number 2 of doubles. And just to our right, some celebrities. You can kind of see their equipment hitting the pins. But, it is the gentleman formerly known as the bowling guy, Jason Thomas. Now works with us at USBC. He's our video guy, as well as the director of operations for the PWBA. He's here with the new full-time extra frame gentleman, Jeff Gutcher. And they're bowling with Keith Hamilton from Bowlers Journal magazine, and Ed Bauer, who is a well-known gentleman in the bowling industry. Used to oversee our department back prior to my arrival in 2005. So far, we're not running down to that pair with any cameras, but we'll certainly keep an eye on them just because they're famous. People want to know. We appreciate everybody stopping by. Nearly 500 online right now to watch Janz's home improvement. Try to work some magic here in 2015.
Nine-pin trip for Hup.
First strike of game number 2. A bit of a rough start, 169.
Damerow's made a big jump left here. It's worked for a double. Playing a more direct line on the outside part of the lane. Once again, 39-foot pattern for doubles and singles, 38 for team event. Strikes a little bit tougher to come by here in game 2 of doubles for this talented crew out of Wisconsin. Presented their championship watches yesterday in front of the entire house at the 5 p.m. team event. Tim also got a watch for his second place finish in regular all events, 22-28 last year in Marino. Once again, the number these guys are trying to reach overall to defend their title 93-93 up on top from ND Storm out of Mandan, North Dakota. They're also the regular team leader, 31-49. And Matt Smallin helped push those guys to the lead in both events. Big 299 and 714 in team event, on his way to a 2062 all events total. Which sits atop the standings. Only 3 players have cracked 2,000 so far. Camden Rokita out of Springfield, Illinois, 2016. And Chris Pounders, 2008. Only a grand total of 4 teams are plus in the team all events category. As we come up on the first month of the tournament here in the next few days. Kicked off March 7th. We'll be here till July 12th.
Well, most of us will be here till July 12th.
Yeah, I quit for a while, so. I'll do that after tomorrow's live stream. I'm going to drop the mic. No more live streams till Adam Bardick gets into town for me.
Talked to one of his teammates yesterday. They are ready to come out and put on a show for sure.
Adam, one of the great ambassadors of the sport, has been making a lot of news recently. Obviously, the Guinness World Record for pinfall in an hour. Did that a month or 2 ago and received a lot of press attention, so I'll be excited to have him out here. His group always fun to watch. They are no slouches either. We do have plenty of excitement here at the El Paso Convention Center and on Bowl TV in my absence. Obviously, Matt and I will be back for Anthony Lacaz as he puts his regular all events title on the line tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And while I'm in Reno, Motion Plus Lanes, our runner-up last year in team event, that'll be April 10th. Then our team champions, April 14th. Artistic Expression 1. Be out here. Next day, you'll have a doubles and singles with Derek Oaf and his talented crew. So I'm sure you'll find plenty of folks willing and able to fill my seat here at in the booth.
Well, while we're here, here's some interesting and maybe a little bit disappointing, sad news. But longtime employee Jim Zebahazy is retiring. Very instrumental in the YABA, Young American Bowling Alliance. Rolled into USBC in 2005. Jim has stuck around and been a key staff member at the association level down there in the southeast. And calling it a day here on a Friday afternoon, and looking forward to the recreational side of retirement. So Jim, thanks for all your years of service. I know that's a familiar name for longtime bowlers, and I know he won't go far from the game, just won't be getting paid as much for it. So Jim, enjoy the retirement.
Certainly so, Jim. Of course, the Zeb Scholarship given out every year, so sure that will continue on. Great shot by Andy there as these guys try to set up the foundation frame. Working on a few guys working on strikes here. They'll need a few doubles though. Pressure for Joe Janz to kick off the 10th here. With a few doubles, these guys can get to right around 1,000. For game 2.
A lot of good discussion in the chat room today. We almost don't have to say anything. So, a lot of knowledgeable and inquisitive folks in there helping each other out. And of course, some familiar names. Again, Chris Pounders had the all events lead for a minute. Saw Chris Hans in there as well. We had him on the live stream last year. Chris Shipman checking in. Steve Bone, doubles champ here at the Open Championships. Of course, our internationals. So we like the folks tuning in from all over the world. It's a pleasure to have you.
I'd like to take a quick second to mention a young man on our bonus live stream last week. Start off with the front 7 in singles. One of my Highland High School alums, Josh Toth, joining us. Recently got engaged, so congratulations to him and Jackie on their recent engagement.
Again, if you're curious about the lane condition you're seeing here today on this doubles and singles broadcast, you can visit bowl.com, find the Open Championships page, or just go directly to bowl.com/openchamp, and you'll see a lane conditions tab on the right side of the screen, and that'll give you a look at what we're bowling on here in both team and doubles and singles. 2 different patterns this year, one 38 feet and one 39 feet. But some good graphs on there for you to take a look at things. And if you have any questions, always feel free to let us know, or let the folks in the chat room know, as some already have bowled and some are hard at work getting ready to find success here in 2015. And top scorer in team all events this year, 93-93. Doesn't sound like a big number, but proven to be a bit of a warlock here in 2015. That is plus 393. So if everybody averaged 200 exactly for the entire 9 games, their score would be 9,000. So 393 pins over par. And Janz's home improvement, a little bit under par last night in the team event. And just a little bit under in the first game of doubles. So a little bit of work to do if they're going to get to back to the top of the standings. They're talking through it right now. Probably discussing the transition they're seeing and how they're going to attack things in game number 3, which is coming up next.
Tim Janz and Andy Bunkoske, 845. They'll need 527 for a share of the lead in doubles, currently 1372. Definitely a tall order, but we've seen these guys strike a lot, so you never know.
Question in the chat room is Matt McNeil still bowling in college this year? He is still part of the Wichita State bowling team that will be headed to the Intercollegiate Team Championships. Aaron Smith will be there, so he can rattle off some details about when and where, and you can get both autographs at once.
942 for Janz HI in game 2 of doubles. So they fell about 20 pins, 965 as a team in game number 1. But yes, the Expo and Intercollegiate Team and Singles Championships will be taking place in Wichita, Kansas this year, starting April 14th with the singles. They'll take the day off on the 15th for the Night of Champions banquet when they announce the All-Americans and most valuable players for the year. Always a fun night. And on the 16th, the ITCs will start up. Should involve a whole lot of Baker games. You can check that out live on Bowl TV. And then the tape-delayed TV finals take place on April 18th. You can check that out, those out on CBS Sports in May. We'll have more details on that as that tournament gets a little bit closer, just a few weeks away. Jason Thomas will be there to get some action of all the teams. Lucas Wiseman, Bowl TV. I'll be writing the stories on Bowl.com, so we got you covered on all aspects.
Game 3 underway. Again, 1372, the top spot in regular doubles this year. Tom Woodworth and Jeremy Sonnenfeld. The number's been up there for a few weeks now.
Few doubles up on the board to start game 3 here. Andy and Tim unable to make it 3 in a row though. Each leaving a corner pin. One of the most exciting moments last year, watching Tim Damerow finish off the team's 34.99 with a perfect game, and he just continued to bowl fantastic the entire event. Obviously finishing second overall in all events. Only won 300 so far this year at the 2015 Open Championships. Chad Oakes out of Minnesota did so to start off his singles set a week or two ago.
Started with 17 strikes in a row. A pretty spectacular performance considering. Chad hurt his back in the team event. Did not break 500. But somehow pulled things together. Bowled okay in doubles, and then started singles with 17 strikes on the way to a 772 series and the top spot in regular singles.
Certainly amazing how one event can go from bad and have the next one go so good. Obviously, Another guy we'll have, Lewis Jenkins Jr. coming up. I believe he's here April 21st or 22nd. And after struggling in doubles to the tune of 527, I believe, came back, shot a little 826.
Just a little.
On his way to the regular singles title, so we'll be excited to see him and his group back once again.
See a lot of posts and reports out there, and people keeping an eye on these top teams as they come in. Janz's Home Improvement now in the mix in those conversations, and people trying to gauge the challenge this year based on how these teams are performing. Again, 29.50 will get you a pretty solid spot in the standings so far this year.
And 29.44 is current number for the top 10, so only had 3 teams plus so far this year in the team event.
As we've seen a few times in recent years, somebody's going to figure it out and put up a number, perhaps. We saw that in 2012 with Nicholas J's Pro Shop shooting 3,400. And if there's one team that would like to be that team in 2015, it is Junior Team USA Support. Probably in the venue already, putting the finishing touches on some equipment, getting ready to head back to the squad room. Eric Vermilia, Anthony the Cause, and crew will be on the lanes in just a couple hours for their team event. Another good barometer as they have flirted with 3,500 with regularity in recent years. Getting close to halfway here through game number 3. And as with some other changes at the Open Championships going back to 2013, all 6 games of doubles and singles now bowled on the same pair of lanes. So a big change from the previous history here at the event. And we've also gone from 4 players to 6 on a pair. So a little bit more traffic, but also the opportunity to just keep on bowling. No need to wait for the pair next to you to get done so you can flip-flop. And of course, for teams, they're now able to come in with a little bit of a strategy on how they want to play the lanes, with the idea that they could help or hurt themselves as the games progress.
Very true, and these guys last year definitely took advantage of being able to work together. So they averaged nearly 230 in doubles and singles. On their way to the team all events title. Mentioned some close calls before. They cracked the lead in 2011 with a big 3,400 as well, and that lead didn't hold up for too long, but so we've seen these guys strike a lot the past few years. It's looking like a big single set will be the way this year. They want to leave here with a chance to defend their title. Looks like Sonnefeld and Woodward's doubles total is going to survive another squad here. Tim Janz and Bunkoske aren't going to get to 527 this game, so good folks in Sioux Falls can relax for another day.
All right, final couple frames of doubles coming up here. And then singles immediately will follow, as most of the house already has made the flip. Again, we'll see what 6 games does to help or hurt the Janz group. They're definitely going to have a whole lot of work to do in singles. They're going to climb their way back to the top of the standings. Aaron will have those numbers for you as soon as singles gets underway. It's going to be a bunch.
Nice break for Joe there on the trip, too. Getting that one back from way downtown. A few hits like that will certainly loosen up the arm swing. So we're in the foundation frame here, final game of doubles. Definitely add a lot here to finish up. Big 10th frame. Be a nice, nice momentum boost going into singles. Pins keep falling for Tim. It's just a 7. Andy still has 2 50s out there. Just enough of the 4 for Randy to set up the 10th frame. top 5 spot in double still out there for Tim Janz and Andy Bunkoske. 1294 still out there. That would move them into 4th place if they were able to throw all 6 in the 10th.
Death frame underway. Bad effort for Damerow. 207 in the finale. 587.
Tim led the way yesterday for Janz HI, 647. Shot by Joe to kick off the 10th. .618 for Tim Janz. Joe finishes up 202 for 545. That's 6 in a row for Bunkoske. 253 the max. $12.73 still out there for him and Tim. Never a doubt, 7 in a row. That's how you shoot 250 on the nose. For 652. .1270 puts them in 6th place overall. 102 pins shy of the lead. .614 in the books for Joe Janz. 2:04 in the finale.
Well, Aaron, one pair. Still wrapping up doubles, so certainly our live stream viewers getting their money's worth today. As we'll see our final shot here. And we'll get ready for singles coming up in just a minute. .527 for Hup. 1141 doubles total. .545, 652, 527, 587, and 618. So we'll have the calculated totals for you in just a minute and see what they're going to need. They're going to find their way back to the top spot. Again, you're watching the defending team all events champion, Janz's Home Improvement. Took home the title last year with a near record 10,363. And they're not even going to need close to that much here in 2015. You're watching live coverage from the 2015 USBC Open Championships here in El Paso. 52 lanes inside the El Paso Convention Center. This is Matt Cannizzaro alongside Aaron Smith. We're halfway through today's broadcast. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern, for 2014 regular all events champion Anthony Lacaze, as he looks to make it 3 consecutive years with a win here at the Open Championships. He'd become the second bowler in history to do so, joining Les Zykes, who did it in the 1960s. So Lacaze and his teammates will be on the lanes this evening for the 5 p.m. team event, and we'll have the recap and all of doubles and singles for you tomorrow. So remember to check in again 3 p.m. Eastern. But right now, we've got 3 games of singles underway here behind lanes 35 and 36. And if you're curious about the lane condition you're seeing today, you can visit hole.com/openchamp and check out the graphs. And of course, a lot of great bowlers have already come through with some good feedback, so make sure to check with the others from your area, see if they have any tips or advice for you on attacking this year's 2 lane conditions. Want to get a look at this doubles and singles pattern, take advantage of the Bowlers Journal Championships presented by USBC, happening on the other side of this building. Fantastic venue, includes 10 showcase lanes. That's where the BJ is taking place this year, and that is surrounded by the Showcase Cantina Good opportunity to have a beverage or some delicious El Paso cuisine while you're checking out the leaderboard or waiting for your time on the lanes here in El Paso. A lot of great opportunities under one roof here at the convention center.
All right, Matt, after putting on 10-22 in the final game of doubles, they nearly duplicated their team effort. 29-30 yesterday in team event, 29-29 in doubles, so they slipped a pin. They'll need a 35-34 in singles, so just a hair above a 706 a guy, or more than 235 out there. So we'll see if the strikes can add up here in the final 3 games. So everybody sit tight and enjoy singles. Bunkoske finished 250 in doubles. Starts off with the first 2. I think he came back to his teammates and just said wow after that one, so lanes might be getting nice here. Randy gets him to tumble. 527 in doubles. Starts with a double. The love tap on the 10 for Joe. Business might be picking up here soon, Mr. Cannizzaro. He's Guys came in with a game plan, and I'm sure the double scores were a little bit lower than they would have liked to seen at the end of the day, but could have been the plan all along to set up a run here in singles. This guy's definitely looking a little bit looser out there. A little bit crisper ball reaction. We're starting up the fifth frame here in game number 1 of singles. Janz home improvement defending team all events champion, looking to make a run. And leave El Paso the same way they did in Reno. Gonna need a big number here in singles, 35-34 for a share of the lead, 93-93 up on top. ND Storm out of Mandan, North Dakota, currently holding the lead down. So these guys will need to put up just a tad under 7:10 a guy in singles to get around that number. If you're looking at the scoreboard, it's starting to turn around for these guys. 10-22 in the last game of doubles. Starting to see some strikes. Messenger unable to get the 10 for Andy, so his string of strikes ends at 4, but big 250 the last game for him, so he's getting comfortable out there. Nearly 500 strong tuning in live right now, so we want to thank everyone for taking some time out on their Friday afternoon to join us here. So we're going to look at some of Wisconsin's finest. Janz HI team made up of Joe Janz, Andy Bunkoske, Randy Hup, Tim Damerow, and Tim Janz. Jim was on the companion team yesterday. Finished up with 550, 614 in doubles.
All right, Aaron, it looks like these strikes starting to add up here in singles, but still a few few miscues out there in the single pins and a couple spares. I know we talked about that a little bit last year, how important that was, and they did have a few of those that they hoped wouldn't cost them in the long run, even with that huge number. It could have been quite a bit more, and we're seeing that a little bit again here this year.
I'm sure there's quite a few spare opportunities they would like to have back. And you know, last year we talked about it, they still had a chance at the all-time record going into the 10th frame. A few more of those spares back, they would have been right there, knocking on the door of the 10,425 from Pollard's Bowl back in Salt Lake City, 1996, the longest standing of the regular division scores.
Well, and talking to a lot of these folks too, and when records are involved, the record is special, of course, but it doesn't mean a whole lot if you don't end up winning the Eagle. Of course, that is forever, and you know that somewhere down the road it's likely or possible that somebody will take down your record score, but that Eagle always will sit on your mantle and be next to your name on the scoreboard. As you see now, 5 Eagles up there above lanes 35 and 36 here at the El Paso Convention Center. So it's got to be a pretty cool feeling looking up there and seeing that for the very first time, as these gentlemen did yesterday. And we'll hear from them after they're done bowling, regardless of their performance, whether they take the lead or come close, or we're going to chat with them and get their feelings on the whole experience. Of course, you never want it to be once in a lifetime, but if it turns out that it is, you want to soak in every minute of it, as it goes by very quickly. Most of you already know that from just coming to the tournament each year. 364 days of anticipation, and then it's showtime, and before you know it, you're headed home to start thinking about next year already. So a bit of a whirlwind for these gentlemen, I'm sure, being recognized as champions for the first time, and then having to perform minutes later in the team event. Great shot there from Bunkoske.
Out of Beaver Dam.
And we heard it a little bit last year, I think, from Vermillion and the guys. Just a little time needed to settle down after marching in for the first time as champions, and seeing your Eagles up there. And then, you know, for this event, you really don't have that time. So it's all about focusing as quickly as possible and getting to the task at hand.
Certainly a lot going on, and then to be able to turn it around so fast and enjoy the moment, and then gotta come out here and make a lot of good shots on this these demanding patterns this year. So.
Another miscue for Randy Hup. This one coming on an open frame, so no penalty there, no pins lost. But definitely a tough spare here. Trying to get back on track after a 3-bagger to start singles. And he gets 8. Again this year, we are using Kegel Ice Oil, and we have 5 custom painted Kegel Flex lane machines here. Those machines painted by a gentleman in Florida with a red, white, and blue eagle motif. And when the tournaments conclude, there are 13 machines in existence with that paint job, and they will be featured at USBC championship tournaments throughout 2015. And at the end of the year, they will be sold or auctioned off, with the proceeds going to benefit Folds of Honor, a military organization that helps the family members and those serving overseas or for the country It helps them with scholarships and other needs. So looking forward to being a part of that. Glad we can help a good cause. But those top-of-the-line lane machines come in at about $35,000 a piece, and you can see them before each squad here at the 2015 Open Championships walking up and down the lanes all by themselves. Technology certainly has come a long way.
Ball change for Tim, gets the 10 pin out.
I was going to say the Janz Home Improvement Group has come a long way since struggling early in doubles. A lot of strikes on the board here in this singles event. 93-93, the number they're chasing. And Aaron gave you the rundown of what it's going to take to get there, and it's going to be a bunch.
Good run at the Greek Church by Randy. Able to get the 4-pin though. Looks like he's gonna make a change up here, bringing a different ball up. Nice trip on the 2-8 there for Andy. Just looking at back-to-back 250 games here. Tim Janz, 240s out there.
We have a question in the chat room about the lanes here in the convention center, and it's a bit of a trick question. So test all your friends and family. We have 52 lanes here for the main event, 10 showcase lanes, and in between the two is a secret lane for the lane maintenance crew to get the lane machines running, get all the oil flowing and everything ready to go before they head out to oil the main lanes. And then of course in the back, as part of our photo vendor, there's a stub lane where you can warm up and get a souvenir picture before you head out for doubles and singles. So the answer to that question, how many lanes did we install this year for the USBC Open Championships? 63 and a half.
Well done. So yes, win a bet with your friends on that one. Right now, 10th frame here. This guy's looking to make up a little bit of ground here. Matching 222s for Tim and Joe. Hit's not coming for Tim today.
.652 in doubles, and a good start here in singles. Aaron, what's it going to take for him to make a run individually here in 2015?
Well, Andy shot .586 to kick off his team event. To go along with that .652, so he's at .1238, so he'll need a big number. .824 for a share of the lead. Keeps throwing shots like that. That guy had a lot to worry about. Someone might have to give Chad Oakes a call here if he keeps striking.
Well, 2062, the number on top of regular all events. Matt Smolin of North Dakota. And Chad Oakes, 772, leading singles. So a lot of possibilities here with 2 games to go.
Tim's going to be in the 240s. Taking the 9th frame, but other than that, he's been all over the pocket here to start singles. .246 for Tim Janz. Definitely a nice ball change for him, and he's got a little room to work with.
Aaron, we got a couple good questions in the chat room here we'll address as we get ready for game number 2 here of singles. And the one question about the pin setters used here at the Open Championships. And for the lane providers, there is a bidding process as well. And in my career here, going back to 2005 in our build years, they've all been Brunswick. That doesn't mean the other companies are not able to get involved. It just so happens that Brunswick was the top performer, I guess, in the bidding process, and have done a great job providing brand new lanes and machines and set tee areas for us in our build years. Another question is about does Bowl TV cover the same teams over and over every year? And in some cases, as in this case, as a matter of fact, this team bowled particularly well in the team event last year, so that warranted some bonus coverage on Bowl TV for doubles and singles, and they didn't disappoint, putting up a terrific number on the way to the Team All Events title. So now, as the defending champions, it is our pleasure to have them on again this year. So does that mean that we'll see them again in 2016? Possibly, probably not. But we'll work on next year's live stream schedule heading into the 2016 event. And we've always got mental notes going on who comes through and when, so we can think about who would be a good candidate to show off here on Bowl TV. So again, if you have any suggestions, please send those our way and we'll get them into the mix. But right now, we're moving on to game 2 here of the singles event. Joe Janz 211, Andy Bunkoske 259. Randy Hup struggled a little bit there at the end for 147. Tim Damerow 212 and Tim Janz 246. Pretty solid start for these gentlemen. And the 6th on the pair, Jim Janz 184. He is not part of the team. Aaron is feverishly calculating right now. And we'll have an update for you momentarily on what it's going to take for these guys to make their move here in 2015.
All right, Matt. 1075 that game for Jan's home improvement. So their highest effort of the day so far. Puts them at 69-34 unofficially through 7 full games. So they'll need 24-59. The last 2, that's it's nearly 246 a guy. So they'll definitely need their striking shoes on here and final 2 games of singles, but looks like they found something here. Hopefully Randy can get on track as well and join in on the fun. Some of the talented folks from Junior and Team USA support 1 and 2 making their way into the grandstands to watch our defending Team All Events champion. They have a defending champion of their own in our group, or in their group, I should say. Anthony Lacaze. Be looking to make it 3 in a row as part of the team in 2013 that won Team All Events, along with Eric Vermilia, Jeffrey Mersch, Matt Tuckfield, and Steve Novak. And he claimed the individual All-Events title last year at the National Bowling Stadium. Putting up the 4th highest total of all time, 2273. Their team event starting in about an hour and a half here in El Paso. Those folks already out on the showcase lanes a little bit on the Bowler's Journal. Team practice session. So they'll be all set for their run at the leaderboard in 2015. Bunkoske is tossing bombs out there right now. 259 in the opener, 250 his last game of doubles. He's gotten very comfortable out there on lanes 35 and 36. Never a doubt on the bucket for Tim there. It's a nice love tap. All right, folks, special treat here. Just a few minutes after Matt Cannizzaro hooks him up with sound here, but Matt's going to step out for a few seconds, and we're going to be joined by a member of the 2013 Team All Events Champions, Junior Team USA Support #1, Eric Vermilia.
Mr. Smith, how are you?
I am doing well, sir, and yourself?
I'm fantastic. Just enjoying our time here in El Paso.
All right, I know you've been in town for a few days. Got to enjoy some of the local sites, and
we did actually. A bunch of us this year, instead of going the hotel route, we rented a house. So we've been kind of hanging out and enjoying what El Paso has to offer. It's a nice town. It's easy to get around. Definitely just enjoying our time, kind of kicking back, relaxing, getting into some of the side tournament action, getting loose, and we're ready to go.
All right, we've been talking about obviously Tony's title defense coming up here in just a little bit, so you've got a chance to hang around him. He's been here for a few days already as well, and just talk about how he's feeling about making a run at 3 in a row.
He's really excited. If you know Tony at all, he's not exactly the type of person to walk around and talk about bowling all that much. He's a very laid-back guy, but the Eagles back-to-back years means a ton to him, and he bowled so good last year. It was almost hard to even describe. Even to go back and watch it, just the quality of the shots he threw was absolutely amazing. And the chance to do 3 in a row is something very few people have ever had the chance to do. So we're thrilled to help him out with that this year, and hopefully we can assist and maybe pull off the team one ourselves.
Well, right now, score you guys will be looking to beat 31-49 up on top. We've only had 3 teams plus so far on this 38-foot pattern, so I don't want to say give away any of the trade secrets, but how excited are you guys to actually go out there and see what you can muster up on this pattern?
We're very anxious. I think honestly you kind of touched on it. Trade secrets this year there aren't any. They're just flat out hard. You just pick a ball that seems to read the lane the right way. Pick the break point that you think where the ball needs to get to, and just make good shots. They're never really going to blow open. There isn't much. In past years, everyone talks about trying to manipulate the pattern, and I think this year it's just not there to do. So it's just about shot quality. We actually watched the. Is it Janz or Janz or
Janz?
These guys last night, and we watched them get their presentation. That was awesome, and it was cool to see it after having felt it the year before. And I thought they actually settled down pretty quick last night. They, by about the third frame, they were making some pretty good shots, and I think that really showed how hard the pattern really was. I mean, there were a lot of good shots that were getting 8 that first game.
Well, obviously you guys got to experience that last year, coming down as the Team All Events champions from 2013, and I know you guys it took a little while to get your feet back underneath you and get back into the swing of things, so just kind of talk about that experience a little bit and getting to relive that opportunity here.
Oh, I'll tell you what, last year it's one of those things that you always dream about. It's the very first time we bowled this thing, I believe it was 11 years ago now for me and Jeff. The squad we were on, there was a couple Orange Eagles a few lanes away, and we kind of saw them and we're like, huh. So if you win an Eagle, you get an Eagle next to your name the rest of your life. That's pretty awesome. That's a goal we want to have, and to know that was out there and then to achieve it. And but yeah, settling down after the presentation and stuff last year was almost impossible. I mean, I didn't get it off my hand for the first 8 or 9 frames, but just to be able to experience that, and then to watch these guys last night, experience the same thing, and to see the looks in their face, it was really cool, and to be able to sit back this year and watch Tony walk down center aisle and experience it, by himself with what he accomplished is something I've been waiting a year for. It should be amazing.
All right, and the folks at home can't see it, but on the shirts on your left sleeve, you have the Orange Eagle imprinted on the.
Very much. This is. We've all got our own company logos and all that, but on all of our left sleeves, both our companion team and our team, because we
in women's championships, and you work for 2 of them now, Columbia 300 and Hammer, taking a new job as the Southwest.
That is correct. As of January 1st of this year, I am now the Southwest District Sales Manager for Ebonite International. So Ebonite Track, Columbia, and Hammer. I travel all around the Southwest and show off the fantastic products that we have.
All All right, we appreciate, once again, the support as a gold partner out here at the Open Championships, and of course at the women's as well, starting up just a few weeks. These guys need to put up a big number, 35-34 in singles.
That's a big number.
To get a share of the lead, so about 7:06 a guy. Randy struggled a little bit in game number 1, but Andy, Tim, and the other Tim getting hits like that.
His teammates are certainly picking him up. I mean, we were watching the live stream earlier from we had a little lunch over at Chili's, and we were watching the live stream there, and it seemed like they were all playing the lanes together. They were working on doing the right thing, and they're putting some strikes up there. So they certainly could make a run at this.
And Bunkoske has been just locked in since pretty much game 3 of doubles. 250 on the nose, 259 to kick off, and then first 4, and then a 9-pin so far here.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see him make a run at that singles number. I think they've broken on the lanes as good as they can, and he's obviously in a good rhythm. He's seeing what he wants to see out there, and he's making good shots. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him make a run at that 780.
I'm sure Chad Oakes would appreciate the extra few pins you gave him there. 772 the number, but Chad, accomplished collegiate bowler like yourself, I believe out of the same school as well.
That is correct. University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Now he's a Minnesota guy like you used to be.
Yep. Once I discovered there were parts of the country that you didn't have to shovel 6 months out of the year, I said, hey, let me try one of those.
El Paso certainly has been that since Matt and I have gotten here February. Just fantastic weather all around, and there's a reason they call it Sun City, so just some gorgeous weather.
Well, you got that right. 80 and sunny in March and early April is very hard to beat.
All right, once again, we're being joined by a member of the 2013 Team All-Events champions here at the Open Championships, Eric Vermilya, former Team USA and Junior Team USA member.
Back in the good old days.
Way back when?
It was 2004 and 2005. And I was on the big team, Team USA, in 2005 as well.
And Eric has really gone through the whole process of improving in the ranks throughout his career, a junior gold champion, and then a very nice collegiate career as well. And now he's performing here at the Open Championships, taking home eagles.
You could say
like it's nothing.
I've taken advantage of everything USBC has to offer from the probably about the age of 4 or 5.
So there's a future for the sport right there, folks. Using the building blocks in place to start off a nice little career here at the Open.
And actually, one thing you touch on there is the collegiate bowling and the trend you're seeing the last few years here with amongst the teams that are really, a lot of the teams that are bowling well is they did bowl in college, and a lot of them bowl together. And actually on our team, a lot of us bowled at the same time frame in college. And just a lot of that experience and a lot of the opportunity that USBC provides with the collegiate bowling and the bowling on the harder patterns and traveling and that kind of things is really why you're seeing a lot of the bowlers that you're seeing today here.
It's definitely a natural transition to with a lot of the same things they see. Obviously, the teamwork, communication out there, being able to, when a pattern demands it, to kind of carve away at a shot, or
at least understand where the proper places are to play on the lane and be in the right zones, retransition and make the right moves on these harder, flatter sport patterns. And it's really a whole different world than the house shots that most people are used to. To be 3 or 4 frames ahead of the transition makes a huge difference.
Great shot by Tim there to fortunately end his streak of strikes at 5. He's been fighting, getting the hits all day today, been around the pocket for a good chunk of it, but getting all 10 to cooperate has been a different story.
Yeah, this from the couple squads at the Bowlers Journal, this building's not really giving you a whole lot in the way of free hits on the off hits, the half pocket hits. You got to hit them pretty solid.
Bunkoske delivers there with a solid hit. 6 out of 7 to start game 2.
Yeah, he's got a good look to him right now. That's it's looking good down there.
A little known fact for Mr. Vermillion for all you folks out there. One of the great lines after your guys' team performance in 2013, coming up just a bit short of Lodge Lane's 2 score. I think you 35-21, was that the number?
35-21, yes, sir.
Hearing you guys mention that you now owned a 3,500 at the Open Championships, and you and Jeff a 1,500 in doubles at the Open Championships, and didn't have an eagle to show for it yet.
It was, we were eating dinner after that night afterwards at Brew Brothers in Reno, and I completely forget who said it. But, you know, we're sitting there and we're, you know, very pumped about the 3,500, even though it was just a few pins shy of what was leading. And somebody said, hey, so you guys now have a 3,500 and a 1,500 and no eagle. And I'll tell you what, that just stuck in my head. And the next day, you know, coming out for doubles, and like by the third frame, we were already into it, and our main goal was just team all events from like the third frame of doubles, and it just happened to work out for us.
And of course, another cool fact about your guys' run, Mr. Tuckfield was actually on a different pair, so you guys finished up well before him, gave him the daunting task of shooting 50 the last game to take the lead.
That is correct. Due to some mismanaged rosters by myself as team captain, I accidentally had put Tuck on the pair to our right instead of on the pair with us. So we were going a little faster than that pair was, and we finished up with about a game to go, and we told him we'd give him 1,000 and he'd only need 50. And we did. So, but he bowled, and I mean, honestly, the game he bowled there is one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. I mean, all the pressure was on him. We were there every shot watching him, and he threw all 12 balls in the pocket, had 3 9 spares and 9 strikes.
Matt, of course, also had a 300 at the 2012 tournament in Baton Rouge, one of the lower scoring events too, so we'll expect a lot out of him again this year.
He has no problem when they're a little on the challenging side. He's got kind of a trick roll.
1,500 in, was it 2010? All right. Back at the stadium, and you kind of mentioned in our talks over the years just how the weight was kind of unbearable in 2010 and more of a hassle. And
it was in 2010 we had the lead for, I believe it was almost a month. It was right around 4 weeks, and literally every day I would wake up and check bowl.com and look at the scores and go, man, we still have another 2 months a second there. So when we took the lead in 2013, my mindset was almost, instead of I hope this ends soon and we win, it was more of I need to enjoy this because it might never happen again, and just really savor the experience and, you know, enjoy when these teams are making runs at us, because it's the position you got to be in. It's part of the experience, and it's really something more to embrace.
And not worrying paid off, as no one was able to catch your guys' number. I'm sure there were a few times though they were checking the phone.
Yeah, the X Bowling app definitely was not the best thing for us that year.
Well, here's Bunkoske stepping up in the 8th frame on lane 35. It's absolutely.
As I said, it's part of the experience. You gotta watch and you gotta sweat these ones out.
I talked to Andy a little bit yesterday. He was actually feeling a little bit under the weather coming into his tournament appearance.
They always say, beware the ill or injured bowler. A lot of times when your only goal is to make it to the foul line and get the ball down the lane, you kind of forget about what else is going on, and you bowl some really good scores.
Team all events title. They're going to need a big number here at the end, but they're putting up a decent number here. In game number 2 is singles. Once again, we're joined by Eric Vermillion, getting ready to take the lanes in just about an hour. So you're already through the check-in process, right? We don't have to.
That is correct. I was here yesterday to make sure I took care of that.
You guys went through the scales already? Got your team photos?
We have not been through the scales yet. We figured about an hour or so before we'd head back there. We didn't want to get in too early, so we'll be heading back there shortly.
All right. So if this squad starts up late, it won't be to blame those guys. They're going to be back there soon, getting their equipment taken care of, brackets all squared away.
So Aaron, I'm not sure if you guys have mentioned this or touched on this so far in the live stream, but any recommendations for little hole-in-the-wall places to eat while we're out here in El Paso?
Well, certainly quite a few joints to check out for those in the downtown area.
Beautiful shot there by Andy, by the way. That was really pure.
He is throwing bombs right now.
Mm-hmm.
But one place is downtown, and heard a lot of folks talk about it. They even mentioned it in our orientation, the good folks at Visit El Paso, that the Tap is one of the, it's a few blocks away from the convention center. It's, I would call it a little hole-in-the-wall establishment, but I actually went there for St. Patrick's Day and had one of the best enchiladas of my life.
Oh, there you go.
And as you know, around the Arlington area, we got plenty of places to choose from with some great Mexican food. And
yes, Aaron, you know how I feel about enchiladas.
That's true. So definitely worth taking a few block walk. Enjoy a beverage after you finish up on the lanes, and check that out. Downtown has definitely seen a big boost since the women were here in 2010. A lot of new places have popped up. Even last night, Matt Canizaro, myself, and a few others visited. I believe the place was called Rubik's. It was an arcade bar, so you had a bunch of old school video games.
Arcade bar,
where you could go ahead, throw a few quarters in, and.
Huh. Was there, by chance, any skee ball at this establishment?
There was no skee ball. There was plenty of pinball, though. Old school games, Mortal Kombat.
You would have had me at skee ball.
NBA Jam, NFL Blitz.
Oh, nice.
It's my wheelhouse right there. So Matt, being a few years older, was drawn to Donkey Kong was his game of the day. So he was, I think he actually took the top 2 scores there. So
that doesn't surprise me.
Logged a lot of time with that game, so it finally paid off in the form of a top score. So way to go, Mr. Canizaro. Right now, a 10th frame underway. 249 out there for Tim Damerow. 183 for Joe Janz. Once again, 772 on top of singles. See if Bunkoske can put himself in fantastic position to make a run here in game number 3 in just a few moments. A 9-pin and 2 10-pins so far in singles. That's all he's left. These guys have really created a look in singles here similar to what they were able to do last year on their way to the Team All Events title. Average more than 230 on a pretty demanding...
They put on an absolute display last year in singles and doubles. I remember watching that, and they just bowled absolutely amazing.
Ryan Whitney checking in, bringing up Barcadia in Fort Worth. Says they have skee ball, so next time you're back in the DFW area.
I will have to come back there sometime soon. I miss the brisket quite a bit.
So 239 in the books for Damerow. He's making the turn at 451. 182 for Joe Janz.
I'll tell you, these first 2 shots in the 10th here are going to be huge for Andy to make a run at this singles number. If he can get the first 2 for 270 here, and
get to see it live right here, lane 35.
beautiful shot.
Never a doubt. Splits the 8-9.
Those last 2 shots have been about as good as you can throw them for Andy right there.
So now we can relate to another thing that you've done on the your Open Championships career. You're going into that final game knowing you have a shot to take over the lead, whether it's you know, you've obviously made a run in a few events here and have taken the lead in doubles and team all events. You guys fell just short of team in 2013 as well. Just how's the mindset change for you guys going into that? Looks a bit inside.
All right.
Takes a
Still 260 for him there. He's
takes a nice
in
break
really good
though.
shape there, yeah. But no, you know, the really, I guess the most important thing to do is just keep doing what you're doing. You know, keep chatting to your teammates, keep making sure you're on top of the moves, make sure you're still trying to help them out as well. Just don't get out of your routine, and don't dwell on the fact you have a chance to take the lead, but also don't try to ignore it. You don't try to pretend it's just another shot. It's, you know, understand what's going on, but just continue with your routine and just make the best shots you can.
All right, folks. Once again, great insight to performing at the Open Championships, courtesy of Eric Vermillion. Just an hour away from his return to the lanes in 2015.
As I always say, we're an hour away from the best 3 games all year. We are very fortunate to have not only just a great 5-person team on our side, but our companion team in the last couple of years has just been a blast to bowl with and has helped us immensely. So it's 9 of the best teammates I could ever ask for. Gets the 5 out.
Story of my life right there.
No, I said gets the 5
Oh,
out.
oh, excuse me. All right. Bunkoske at 5:27 at the turn. He'll need at 2:45 for a share of the lead. Anything above that, it's all his. So don't go anywhere, folks. The final game of singles for Janz HI is going to be a doozy
Another
here.
Good shot there.
Randy Huffin, 187. Jim Janz, excuse me, 228. 200 on the nose for Tim Janz, a Dutch 200. Tim Damerow, 239. Joe Janz, 182, and Andy Bunkoske, 268. 5:27 at the turn at 2:45 for a share of the singles lead.
And I've got a feeling he's going to be, you know, with the last couple of frames, he's certainly going to have a chance at it. So the way he's throwing it right now.
All right, confidence high from Eric Vermillion.
He looks good right now, but I think I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead and duck out. I appreciate you letting me jump in and say a few words. It was a pleasure talking with you as well, and enjoy the last game here. It should be exciting.
All right, will do, and best of luck out on the lanes to you and your junior Team USA support number 1 and 2 out there. All right, folks, that was Eric Vermillion joining us. He's off to the squad room, going to get their equipment weighed, brackets taken care of, and they will be hitting the lanes in about an hour, including defending all events champ Anthony Lacaze, looking to make it 3 years in a row to hoist a coveted eagle. His run starts soon. We'll have his doubles and singles along with the rest of those guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, right here on Bowl TV, so be sure to tune in for that. But right now, all eyes on Andy Bunkoske. Leaves a half 10 there.
So not a lot of room for Andy here. 772 the number. I'm sure you guys talked a little bit about that. Needs 245 here in game 3 to match that. So with the 10 pin on the opening shot, 290 still a possibility. But as this game rolls on, the task gets tougher. Spare no problem.
Janz HI improved by a pin over game 1 of singles. Shot 1075, 1076 here in game 2. They're going to have quite a tall order to defend their team title. Or their team all events title, excuse me.
Well, again, regardless of how Janz HI finishes here in 2015, we'll have a recap for you on bowl.com later today. Some fine photography done yesterday afternoon by Aaron Smith. And we'll add the details and have that posted for you. And we'll drop the links on social media. You can find us at the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page. All the great information from the event and news is not quite news. And all the little details behind the scenes posted there daily to keep it fresh. A lot of good discussions happening. So we'll be working on that later today while all events champ Anthony Lacaze and his teammates hit the lanes. We'll have a close eye on them from the office and ready for the possibility of some big scores, of course, and then we'll have their doubles and singles for you tomorrow.
Great shot in the second there. From Andy, he's Eric mentioned yesterday he felt a little bit under the weather coming into his performance here in 2015. But it doesn't seem to be hampering him today. 586 in team event last night, 652 in doubles earlier today, and you've seen what he's done in singles.
Well, we talked earlier about our current singles leader, Chad Oakes, who hurt his back pretty severely during team event and didn't even get to the 500 mark for those 3 games, but battled through that, came up huge with 772 in singles. And of course, Mr. Bill Lillard breaking the all-time pinfall record using a one-step approach due to a bad knee and a bad hip. And now you mentioned Andy being under the weather and striking up a storm here in singles. Seems to be the recipe. Already told Chad Oakes when he was done bowling that right before we bowl, I'm gonna go try to move my desk across the room or something, see if I can't find a little bit of the magic that he found. Now you're watching the final game of singles here, live coverage from the 2015 USBC Open Championships. We're at the El Paso Convention Center. Behind lanes 35 and 36, Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith. We should have had the bowling guy, former bowling guy. Jason Thomas come in, Jeff Gutcher. could have come in and taken over.
It's true. They only had 4 on their pair, so they were actually already all said and done here. Just a note, after game 2 of singles, as a team, they actually got to the plus mark. They were plus 10. So need a big number, probably, well, it's technically possible. It might be gone already, though. 1383. It's the actual total they had to get to in the final game here, so.
I was on the edge of my seat there, waiting for the number. And Bunkoske still alive. Big double there. Needs 245 here in the finale to get to the 772 posted by Chad Oakes.
Well, if my math is correct, 1377 still out there for Janz HI, so the title defense is going to be a little bit short in 2015, but seeing one of these guys come out top of the leaderboard after they finish up today, it still feel like a team effort, I'm sure.
Quick shout out to everybody joining us here. Big crowd in the chat room. Ryan Whitney and Sean Lavery checking in from the DFW area. Those guys always in the mix here at the Open Championships. Ryan with the 300 game back in 2012. Definitely some curious onlookers in the chat room wondering what ball that was that just went down the lane on 36. And he misses the head pin right.
Little lamped on that one and gets it out into no man's land. If I had to guess, I would agree with Tony Boyd's assessment. Looks like a zero gravity, but we're a little bit further away than we have been in the past, so unable to get the head pin to kick back out and slap the 10. Drops his max score now to 254. Just like that, he has fallen into a must-strike situation from here on out, or at least until the fill ball, I believe. Great shot by Tim Janz there. 4 out of 5 to start game 3 for him. Alright, Bunkoske will have to strike until the fill ball here. So I'll suppose name at the top of the leaderboard. Let's see how he responds after the open frame in the 4th. Comes in light, leaving the 2-pin, drops his max to 244. He'd be a pin shy from here. Looks like Chad Oakes will can breathe easy for another day here. Still a lot out there for Andy to get, so let's hope he finishes it up in style. Double for Damerow. Hits have not been coming his way today. He's been all over the pocket. .647 in team event and .587 for Tim in doubles. Bunkoske back on track in the 6th. All right, as we head down the stretch here, Mr. Cannizzaro. Obviously, these guys are going to fall a little bit short of reclaiming the team all events lead here in 2015, but I'm going to guess these guys are going to definitely chalk this up as a fantastic learning experience to springboard to bigger and better things down the road. Brings me back to Matt McNeil in 2011 as he attempted to defend his all events title, fell a little bit short, but used those lessons he faced down the stretch to catapult himself into the title in 2012.
Well, these guys, again, they're always in the mix. They do come a little bit earlier, so maybe not the winning score is not always posted already, but we've seen them as early as day one and as late as the last day. But these guys always putting up big numbers, and I'm sure we'll hear from them again, especially with the confidence of winning in 2014.
Late love tap there. Perfect 6th and 7th for these guys here. Gonna end it the right way and well on their way to finishing plus as a team. So they definitely have a spot in the team all events top 10 in their sights here. Once again, we'll have a full recap on bowl.com later tonight. Getting a chance to talk to these guys. And the entire experience of coming back as a defending champ for the first time. What 4-9 says Tim Janz. 6 in a row. Big number still out there for him. A few more X's up on the board. Three in a row for Andy. It's going to be little bit too short, but still a big number out there. These guys want to finish it up right. A little light again on lane 35 for Andy. Leaves the 2-4. Another 50 out there for Andy. Great shot by Tim. Looking to finish out 280 here in the finale. So we could have a 749 and the 727. Damerow can get to 693 still. So these guys needed to put up 35-34 as a team in singles. Gonna fall a little bit short, but they did throw a lot of strikes here, so. Hopefully for everyone tuning in, get a good chance to see this doubles and singles pattern once again.
Aaron, there was some chatter in the chat room about how these gentlemen played the lanes, and how it looked like they were going to open up and be nice for singles, and we're certainly seeing that with the ton of strikes up on the scoreboard and a couple of big sets about to be finished off. So of course, strategy very important here at the Open Championships, and if you can make the lanes give you something in singles, of course it's going to be the team that can find that a little bit earlier and get something going in doubles. It's going to be the challenge this year, it looks like. And of course, getting some momentum from that team event, key. Only 3 teams over the 3,000 mark here in 2015. So a good start there would be huge. Nice run by Tim Janz here in singles, 246, 200. In the 250s. Fill ball coming right up. Bunkoske struggling late here in game 3.
Yeah, had a few shots, just not make it up the hill enough. He's going to walk out here with a real nice number, though. 258 in the finale for Tim. Some 704. Right, with that strike, Bunkoske finishes up 736. That'll put him into 4th place in regular singles. That'll move him into the top 10 of regular all events as well, unofficially at 1974. It was a good year, right, Matt?
It was all right, not too bad.
1974 will put him in a tie for 6th overall with Scott Salinas out of Racine, Wisconsin.
It is getting quiet in here as just about everybody is finished. Lane machines doing what lane machines do here in a minute. Getting ready for our 5 p.m. team event.
All right, we'll have one more shot. We'll get a quick math rundown, see where these guys finish their title defense at. Final shot of the day, Randy Hup. Randy finishes up 201 for 535. All right, unofficially, Andy Bunkoske, 1974 leads the way. Tim Damerow, 1916. Tim Janz, 1844. And Joe Janz, 1758. Randy Hup, 1626. Puts their team all events total unofficially once again 91-18, which would be good for 2nd overall.
definitely a good showing for the defending champs. 2 tough lane conditions this year, and of course the pressures that come along with being introduced as champions here. And for these guys, for the first time, certainly handled it well. Bowled very well here, especially in singles. Things opened up nicely for them. High of 736. So I would hope that when we go down and talk to them, they're not disappointed at all with this year's performance. Of course, the goal to take home another title, but I think overall I have to be happy with the way things turned out. But we'll have all that for you and more on bowl.com later today. Going to go down and take a couple pictures and talk to the guys for a minute. We'll have Anthony Lacaze come out in just a few minutes for recognition as the defending regular all events champion. And we'll be back on the air tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern with his doubles and singles here on Bowl TV. I want to thank everybody for joining us here at the El Paso Convention Center. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith, and we'll be back tomorrow. That's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.